Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Direwolf 20. There's been a strange issue. You'll notice like my bread's not replenishing right now. There's been a lot of weird things since the last time I logged off, and when I logged back on, I've been doing some work trying to fix it. One of the things was the power was all messed up, so I had to break and replace all my power conduits. The bread, oh, there we go. Bread just got updated. Finally. There's been a lot of just really weird things happening like that. Also, I did do a bit of cleaning up down here, and I did enchant my draconic bow, because it was brought up that enchanting works now. So, I gave it Infinity, Soulbound, Flame, and Power 5. Which I've noticed that Power 5 seems to have really no change. No effect. Also, Flame doesn't seem to work either. So, really, Soulbound and Infinity seem to be the only things that work. I don't know if that's intended or if it's a bug, but I did notice that the power, hitting Ender Dragons, that kind of thing, it didn't really change anything with Power 5, and Flame doesn't catch anything on fire. So, also, I don't know exactly what happened for sure, but part of this forest caught on fire and just started burning down. I'm not really sure. Like, I was just in, I think that build, yeah, I was in the AE building working, and I looked out the window and I was like, everything's on fire. I stepped out here and everything was just burning. I'm assuming maybe a lightning strike, but the thing is, storms tend to kick off very, very quickly, so I'm not for sure. Not for sure what happened. But anyways, I've got most everything fixed from, like, the random just breaking down of everything. I don't know. And I increased the amount of solar panels that we have, and yeah, I just did a bit of work around the base like that. A little bit of automation, cleanup, that sort of thing. So anyways, today we are going to be working a little bit more on RF tools. We're going to be wrapping something up and getting dimensional shards set up to be crafted. And the first thing that I want is the dimensional shard material. Yeah, this one right here. Now it requires, let's see, we're going to need just the base part. We're going to need a rarity of 5. So let me grab that, which I have plenty of those. That's not really a problem. And then we are going to want the advanced energy module, the advanced memory unit. We are going to want, what's that called? I believe it's a material modifier, right? Material type controller is what it is. We're going to want that. Let's replace that one. And then lastly, we're going to want, let's see, what's the name of that one? The material absorber. Place this block on top of another block, and it will gradually absorb all identical blocks in the area. That's what we want. So let me go craft one of those. We'll pop over here. And by the way, we have a bunch of dragon hearts. I did a bit of dragon grinding. We have 79. Later on in the episode, we're probably going to automate dragon hearts. So, but let's go ahead and get ourselves that material absorber. Machine frame and material absorber. Alright, and what we want is dimensional shards, right? So let's go ahead, actually I've got to teleport to it. We'll go to dimension number 1, and I know there's some, I mined up some of them, but I know there's some lying around here randomly. Okay, maybe I actually mined up all the dimensional shards. It does seem like that's the case. I'm looking along the walls here, and I'm not really seeing any. We'll go on the bottom then, and we'll just kind of dig our way up, and we'll set our dimensional, or our material absorber right there, and you'll notice it starts absorbing dimensional shard ore. Now this is going to take a while. Like, we're at 1%, it absorbed 2 right there. So I have a feeling that we're going to be doing a bit of absorbing. Another thing that I could do, which I might do, is if I use Silk Touch, is there any way to make dimensional shard ore? I don't think so, but we could make a Silk Touch quarry. Alright, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to just break all this down. I'm going to take our quarry. Oh my gosh, this ender chest takes forever to break. Alright, I got everything that we need. Now, the next thing that I'm going to want to do, and I think what I want to do is I want to make a silk touch quarry. Okay? So let's go ahead. The first thing that we're going to need, the silk quarry, we're going to need just a standard quarry, which takes a shape card. Let's get one of those. There's our quarry. And then the silk quarry, just like that. Okay? Wonderful. And then what I want to do is let's just make ourselves a new dimension, because that one was pretty much ripped up anyway, for the most part. I mean, there were still some good spots, but let's do... We'll just put a sky dimlet into it. So we'll say it's going to be a red moon, and I'll tell you what, I'm also going to take the biome, the plains biome, and we'll go ahead and say store. There we go. It has a sky dimlet and a biome dimlet, and we'll just put this into here. It's going to infuse it, or create the dimension real quick, and there we go. 11 RF per tick. Alright, and then let's go ahead and dial it. Starting dimension, ID5, dial. And we'll go ahead and teleport over there. What is this? It's all chiseled dirt. Every bit of it. This is actually pretty funny to look at. Honestly. Alright, what other ones do we have right now that we could use? We'll take the waves. Alright, what do we got here? Whoa. Alright, this is interesting. It's all a plains biome, but it's filled with meteors of different materials. What material is this? Is this, oh, it's all netherrack. Birchwood. This is an interesting dimension. Alright, I really like this dimension, honestly. It's very bizarre, to say the least. Where was my, I forgot to mark my, where I came in at. Okay, and we're going to say on this one, let's grab that. Extract, we'll do amplified instead of waves, okay? And we'll go ahead and store that, and we'll see what we get from this one. I'm trying to find a good one, honestly, just for grinding on dimensional shards to get us going with our actual dimensional shard dimension. So... Alright, let's go ahead and dial. Starting dimension, ID7. Dial it. Okay, this one looks a bit better. It's all amplified, which is fine. And I'm going to go ahead and mark this. We're going to say home, just so we know where the home point is. Our quarry, I think we're just going to set it up like right here. I really like this dimension. Like, amplified is always fun. Okay, we'll put our builder's block right here. And yeah, we're going to say solid box. So let's do, like, we'll start here. And we're going to say quarry everything. Do I want to do a silk quarry or... I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and change the silk quarry over to a clearing silk quarry. There we go. Alright, so we're going to select the builder. And we're going to put this, like, say right here. And then we're going to go all the way over. Right in here sounds good. So we're going to say that you dig all the way down to here. To the bedrock. And we'll go ahead and teleport back. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to throw this into here. Let's see, preview. It's this huge box. It's basically just going to tear up the land. Sounds good. That's what we do. We just destroy things. Okay, and then let's go ahead and set up our dimensional transceiver. We'll put it like right here. This should still have the settings for dimension power. It does. We'll give this power. Redstone. Chest. And go. Okay, so that's going to start clearing out, and it is using Silk Touch. So, you know, if it finds any dimensional shard ore, it's not going to break it down. So everything's running good. Hopefully this will come across some dimensional shard ore pretty quickly. Most of the stuff, the ores and things like that, that it mines up, it's just going to dump them into the processing system anyway. So that's not too much of a concern. And we'll let that run. It is probably going to take a little while because we are going to need a fair amount of dimensional shard ore. We'll give that a bit to run. Now, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and look at automating Awakened Draconium, because I want to be able to craft that stuff on demand, because we're going to need a lot of Awakened Draconium if we're going to upgrade our energy storage. So, I think what we're going to do is we are going to automate this. Do I want to do it downstairs? Yeah, I think we'll set it up like right here, perhaps. By the way, we did get our first bit of dimensional shard ore while I was crafting these. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And let's see. We will set this up. So we'll just drop that on there. You'll notice it starts eating through all of that. We're up to 19%. So it's going to take a fair amount of those. So anyways, we've got our Wyvern fusion crafting injectors. And then, of course, in addition, I'm going to want one other thing for this, which is the fusion crafting core. So we'll go ahead and snag that. And I guess we're going to set this up like right here, I think. So we'll say, you know, here's your fusion crafting injectors. We'll do 4 right there. And then let me get just a little bit of cobblestone. Okay, actually, change of plan. I believe, yeah, these need 2 between the injectors. Because I know that right there is the minimums. Okay, I think I finally made up my mind. What we're going to do is we are going to have our fusion crafting injectors up here. So we'll say, that's the center. We'll say 1 there. 1 there, there. Well, we've got 8. Okay. We'll do that instead. Just like that. Okay. And then we'll have, and I may eventually adjust this a little bit. We'll see. We'll have this come down, and we'll have the fusion crafting core right there. And then what I want to do is, okay, there we go. Try to get situated there. And I will end up facading this, you know, we'll see. But we'll have just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and apply power to these. So we'll just go bam, 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 bam. By the way, I did have to set up, I don't know if I mentioned it, I did have to set up a 3rd wireless energy crystal. Because you'll notice, well, that one has 63. I think I broke something. But 64, 64, 63, and then 15 on this one. So I do have a lot of crafting going on down here. And by the way, these, I'm not going to keep it this way. But anyways, what we're going to do is let's get ourselves an interface. There's that. And then I'm going to want a chest. We'll get just a, say, a diamond chest. And then I'm going to want some conduits. We'll get a bit of those. And then let's get some filters. So make me, say, 10 filters. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our interface, how many, this has very few connections overall, I think. 9 of 32, 16, yeah. Okay. So we'll probably connect it up to the cyan line that's right there. Or no, wait, there's a blue line right here. Duh. Okay. Let me get a blue cable. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have just this blue line come down. We'll have our interface setting right there. And it's going to feed into a diamond chest that sits right there. Okay. And we'll go ahead, connect it up to that diamond chest. And then we're going to have item conduits come out, and we're going to have basically all these set up here. Just like that. Let me remove this so we can get down here. And then we're going to have item conduits come down through here. I don't want these to connect, actually. So we'll say no, 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 and no. And that's going to come down to here, okay? And this is going to be set to insert on green, and we'll say extract on brown, always active. And the extract is actually going to feed it right into this interface. Whoops. Where did I just... Oh, there we go. Let's see. This interface, we're going to have this set to insert on brown. Okay. And the extract on this is always active. Okay. Wonderful. And then I'm also going to want some... Let's see, redstone conduits. So we'll just run the redstone conduit down. We'll connect it into the fusion crafting core. And then we'll just have it kind of come up. Say to right there. Let's see, where's that at? Okay. We're just going to bring it up to like right here. And then I'm going to want a timer of some sort. Do I want a timer or just a redstone clock? Honestly, I'm just going to use the X Utilities redstone clock. That would be just as well. So we'll connect that right there, and you'll notice it pulses, you know, every few seconds or whatever. And basically, we're just going to use that to start the craft. If it has the stuff it needs to start a craft, go ahead and start it, right? And then what I want to do... Actually, you know what? No. No. I don't actually want item conduits right here. In fact, sorry. Okay, I tell you what. That diamond chest, instead, it's going... I'm going to remove this. I'm going to place that here instead. Okay? And then the diamond chest is actually going to go on the top. Yeah, on the top of that. And we'll have this face up. Okay? Then the item conduit will connect here. It's going to pull out on green. We'll say that you can insert on brown, you can extract on green. Okay, so now it's pretty much plugged up the same way. I just reorganized things a little bit there. And we're going to put a filter onto this chest. And we're going to say, you know, this is filtered, and we're only going to accept certain things. So for this, for Awakened Draconium, if you take a look here, Awakened Draconium requires draconium blocks, right? So let's order draconium blocks, and we're just going to put that into the filter. We're going to say you can only extract draconium blocks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get some of our blood magic stuff. I don't know, let's see, routing nodes, master routing nodes. We're going to have to make the input and output ones. Let's see, how many... We're only going to want like one input and a bunch of output. Okay, it looks like I've already got some frame parts made up, which is great. Let's go ahead, we'll do like one... I think it's just one of the gold ones that I want. I'm actually going to go ahead and throw that glowstone and stuff in there. Okay, so there's an input routing node, and then I'm going to want like 8 of the outputs, right? Alright, now while that's crafting, let's go ahead and these frame parts here, I want a precise item filter, 8 of these precise item filters. And then what I want to do is I want to put an output routing node on each of these fusion crafting injectors. And that's going to want to connect to everything. We'll just disable all of that. Really, a lot of this stuff isn't really going to make any kind of difference if it's connected or not, but I don't really want it connected. Okay, so there's 8 of those, and then we're going to have our input routing node on the chest, and then we're going to have our master routing node. We'll put it like right here, right? Okay, so now let's get our node router, and we'll go ahead and just start connecting these up. We have kind of like a little circuit here that connects all these together. Alright, and then what I want to do is, which I guess I could move this, yeah, tell you what, I'm just going to move this a little bit closer so it's a little bit more, I guess, compact. We'll put it like right here, I guess, because we're not going to be able to walk through that block space anyway. Alright, so all of these are now connected, and this would be the downside, right? All these fusion crafting injectors are on the downside. So what I want to do is, let's go ahead and open these up. We're going to say down, and we're going to give each of these a precise item filter. And honestly, for the Awakened Draconium, we really only need 7 of these. So technically, I could just not plug one of these up and just have it there for symmetry. But we may end up automating some additional things using this system. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it plugged up, because it'll work for a lot of things that we need to do. That's why I went ahead, because you can actually automate the Awakened Draconium a lot easier without doing all of this. But if we want to automate other things from Draconic Evolution, I want to have this mainframe set up so that it's there and available, if we want to, if we want to use it. Because some things are a little bit more complex, and if you have a lot of recipes and stuff like that, it's a little bit more to it. But now that that's set up, let's go ahead. The Awakened Draconium, what all do we need for this? We're going to need 6 Draconic cores and a Dragon Heart. Okay, I went ahead and had it make a bunch more of these because we're going to need them. But there's our Draconic cores and our Dragon Heart. Okay, and so what I want to do is I just want to set up each of these output routing nodes, Draconic core, and we're going to say 1. And then you output Draconic core 1. You output Dragon Heart 1. And then this one back here, since there's nothing in here right now, I'm just going to say Staff of Traveling and 1, okay? But if we do some more advanced recipes, we may end up using that. But I want to make sure there's something in there. I can't remember if the Blood Magic ones, because a lot of filters, like for example the Ender IO ones, if you put a filter in there, but you don't actually put anything in the whitelist filter, it just lets everything in. So you have to at least put something in there, to block it. I can't remember if the Blood Magic ones do that or not, but I'm going to do that just for, precautionary stuff. And this one should be good as it is, I think. So, and that's filtered for draconium blocks. Wonderful. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop up, let's see, there we go. And we are going to make a quick recipe here, and we're going to say that if you, I'm going to store it in a drawer actually. So we'll grab that. Let's get a compacting drawer. So compacting drawer, let's order that. There we go. And we're just going to set this up like right here, I guess. So there's our Awakened Draconium. And let me grab my key real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a recipe here and say that if you take processing, if you take 4 draconium blocks and you take 6 draconic cores and a dragon heart, then you are going to get 4 blocks of Awakened Draconium. And we're going to go ahead and encode that, and then we'll just pop down to here, and we're going to throw this into the interface. Alright, and let me go ahead and throw this stuff back into the system real quick, and we'll see if this all works. Oh, you know what it is? It's inputting and it's going into, okay, I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. That output routing node is taking the extra items and feeding them back into this interface, is what's happening. Okay, so we're going to have to fix that. Not a problem. We're just going to, that would be the up direction. Alright, I guess what we're going to do is let's just get a, I guess we'll just do another precise item filter. That's fine. Basically, I just need to put a filter in there to whitelist so that it blacklists, everything else. Because that's one downside, I guess, to the Blood Magic stuff. You can't really say, don't output up, alright? But it's not really a big concern, because I can just say, here's a precise item filter. You can only accept, angel rings on the up direction. Down, you can accept dragon hearts. And so now, if I was to open this up, you can see that's locked up. Alright. Now let's order 100 Awakened Draconium. And so now if we pop down here, pow. And there we go. It starts crafting another one right after that. Awesome. And I like the way this looks, because it's got the dragon heart and then the, the cores right there. Now we could clean this up a little bit. Only thing is those routing nodes, there's not a whole lot I can do to hide those, I guess. But what I'll probably do is do just some chisels and bits work along the edge, so it's kind of pretty well hidden. Because if you look straight up, you can kind of see a glimpse of it right there. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. But, I mean, this way you can actually go under it and everything. And whatnot. It's just kind of like hanging, almost like a chandelier or something right there. But I do quite like that. By the way, I just took a look. We have 42 dimensional shard ore. So, guess what that means? Time to break this stuff down. This might actually be enough to finish our dimensional shard dimlet. And eat all those. Really? Okay, we're at 52%. It's about... It's like 2 per percent. So... It's insane. Absolutely insane. Love how this is just crafting away. Honestly, there's some cores that I will probably automate, like the awakened core, for example. That does require 9, though. Ugh. I hate that, because I'll have to make things a little bit more lopsided. So anyways, I'm going to let that finish up, and I'm going to wait on some dimensional shards. That's the big thing. When we come back, we will craft a awakened core, and then we'll see about that dimension. Hopefully, we'll see. Let me pop over to dimension number 1 and see where the quarry's gotten to so far. I'm actually quite curious myself. Okay, it looks like it's digging out this section down here. That's where it's working at the moment. It's crazy because all this stuff is silk touched. So, oh, it's actually already ripped through all of this. As you can tell, dimensional shards are not all that common. It takes a little while to build them up. That's why I want to get this dimension set up, because I mean, I'd like to just have them on demand. You know, oh, we want dimensional shards. Well, we got a quarry running that's just mining dimensional shards. So that's the intention anyway. So anyways, I'll be back in just a bit. I'm going to give this all some time to run and get everything kind of sorted and whatnot. Okay, the awakened draconium finished, and the dimensional shards. We got a fair amount of those. That's how many I got while I was eating dinner. So let's try this. I know this episode's coming out a little bit late. This episode has taken quite a while to record. And I know I was just looking, and I was editing a little bit of the footage, and I have a couple hours of footage to edit through. Alright, we'll just get all this dimensional shard ore laid out. Material absorber. Come on. 100%. Awesome. Okay. So it's a little less than 2 per percent. So I'm just going to go ahead and break this stuff down. I don't need silk touch because I don't need dimensional shard ore as an ore anymore. There's a lot of rhyming going on right there. Okay, speaking of, do we have like diamond ore and all that in here? Yeah, we have quite a bit of diamond ore and different stuff. We'll throw that in there. There's our dimensional shard. You can see that it's 10,000 RF per tick. It's about the same as the dragon dimlet. That's why I wanted all that power before we started RF tools, because it was like, we're going to need a lot of power for all this. Also, let's go ahead and request an awakened core and see if this works. So let's request, say, 10 of these, right? If we pop down here, there goes all the pieces, and it's making withers right now. I wonder why... Oh, you know what? Okay, it's not picking up this crafting injector. These actually can't come out right here. Not a major issue. We can fix it fairly easily. What we're going to do is we are going to just do an ender chest. Because I want this to look good. That's kind of important. And I don't want a bunch of cables running through. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have an ender chest. And we're going to color this. Let's do orange. Let's just do like orange, white, or something like that. Or you know what? Actually, what I could do. I don't know why I'm even thinking about cables, because we don't actually have cables involved in all of this. What we'll do is we'll have we'll have one Wyvern Fusion crafting injector down here. Okay. And we're just going to plug up power to the side of that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have an output routing node on the bottom of it. Okay. And I think it'll still look good with the floor kind of drop down in that one spot right there. I don't think it's so bad. We'll have our output routing node right here. We'll say that on the upside, you can have this Awakened Draconium. And then we're just going to connect this up. Set that node location. Connect it to that. And there we go. Everything works beautifully. And I can spruce that up and kind of clean this up and make it look really nice. But yeah, so that is automated now. It's crafting awakened cores and all that good stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw in this Tyrian so that's cleaned up a little bit. I do quite like that. And it's nice and compact and whatnot. That's always a plus. Pow. There we go again. Awesome. Okay. I'm super excited about that. And that's going to make our life moving forward with Draconic Evolution. It's going to make it so much easier because starting next episode, that's going to be a lot of what we're going to be doing is a lot of Draconic Evolution. Well, I say a lot. The main things I want to do before, with Draconic Evolution moving forward is between this episode and next, I want to get the armor and get it fully upgraded. Well, not fully upgraded. Up to Draconic level. The new Draconic armor upgraded to Draconic. And then, honestly, I'd like to make a Staff of Power as well. Those are fairly easy to craft. They're just Draconic Pickaxe. You're going to have a Draconic Sword, Draconic Shovel, Awakened Cores, all that good stuff. But, of course, now that we can automate all that stuff, it's really not an issue to make those pieces. And we have Awakened Draconium coming out of our ears at the moment, so that's not really a concern. And then we're going to want to fight the Chaos Dragon. I want to do the Chaotic Reactor and upgrade our storage and all that good stuff. So, a few things with Draconic Evolution. So, anyways, now that we have our Dimensional Shard Dimlet, let's go ahead and make a dimension. So, we're going to throw it into the inscriber. There's that. We want Material Dimlet Dimensional Shard Ore. And this does need something to modify. So, let's go ahead and we'll do like Terrain Dimlet Waves, I guess. Okay. So we have a Dimensional Shard Ore that modifies Terrain Dimlet Waves. Anytime you have a Material Dimlet, whether it's a fluid or a solid, it does need to modify something. You'll notice we have a warning there if we don't have this here, because it has nothing to modify. So right now it's modifying waves as the terrain. Alright, do we have anything else we want to throw in this? I mean, I can make some other things if we wanted to. We could do like a Sky Dimlet and have Cyan Fog if we wanted it in there. And I'll show you what that does. We'll go ahead and say store that just to show you what that would look like. And we'll go ahead and throw this in here. Now, this is going to take a little bit to craft. Honestly, one thing I might do... yeah, this one's infused. Let's go ahead and switch these out. We'll throw that one in there. Throw this one in here. That way it'll take a little bit less power and generate a little bit quicker as well. Well, you can see that this is going to require 50,000 RF per tick. That's the maintenance cost. Insane. Absolutely insane. Right now it's taking 201,000 RF per tick to create it. Of course, we're not feeding it that much. I don't have that much power generation. But I think the 50,000 per tick, I think we can manage. But I'm going to have to set up some additional turbines between this episode and next, for sure. The solar panels have really helped. We have like over 20,000 generation or something like that with the solar panels, which is quite a bit, of course. Wow, that is actually eating more than it's getting. Really having difficulties right now. Okay, so let's try... Okay, I let the power build up a little bit. You can see it's actually setting about steady. I will need to increase the amount of power, it looks like. But it is holding pretty well steady, but it's probably eating through like all of our power. Okay, so I'm going to have to sort that out. I'm basically just going to have to feed it a little bit more power. But we'll go ahead really, really quick. Let me get a matter transmitter. I tell you what, one thing I could do is I'm going to power down this dimlet. So this one will stop getting power. This one may get a little bit better now. It's still struggling though. 50,000 RF per tick is a little bit expensive for us at the moment. I thought I had enough power generated to do this, but I might need a little bit more. But let's go ahead. We'll throw it on a matter transmitter. And tell you what. Okay, that's holding on long enough for us to pop in there anyway. So this is our new matter transmitter. We'll connect it to ID8. That's the one we just made. I do need to name that, but not enough power to start the teleport. Oh, you know what? There we go. Okay, start teleportation, and we'll take a look at our new dimension and see what it looks like. There we go. Dimensional shard ore for days. Absolutely insane. It's literally that wave dimension that we made, just nothing but dimensional shard ore. So, honestly, I mean, look at it, like, trying to generate all this. It's just like there's too much ore here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's pop over to dimension number 1. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. And let me grab all these things. And we'll pop back to our RF tools area. And we'll pop into our new dimension. I am going to make a teleport here. We'll say add new dimension shard commit. And we're going to set up our quarry just like right here. So there we go. And we're going to add a clearing fortune quarry. We'll right click that and we'll say start like right here and dig. We'll say dig out to here. Okay. And let me go ahead and throw some of this stuff in. I mean, we're getting just a massive amount of dimensional shards right now. It's crazy. Okay. We'll throw that into there. You can see that's the blue fog, by the way. That's what it looks like. Lever goes here. Set our transceiver right there. Our ender chest right there. Kick that on. And there you go. We're going to have dimensional shards for days. So, if we take a look here, you can see we've already got 20 stacks, 21 stacks, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just stacks of dimensional shards. It's insane. Oh, and you know what? I forgot the chunk loading award. Whoops. The dimension may be running out of power, which is, of course, not a great thing to have happen. I'm going to go ahead and throw this right there. That's good. And if we take a look, where's it mining at right now? Honestly, I think I started it like way down there, so it's probably under the ground right now, wherever it started. I'm betting that's what's happening. But you can see, I mean, it's locking up the system with dimensional shard ore. Honestly, if this just runs just for a minute, it's going to be just so crazy. We have 10,000 dimensional shard ore, 11,000, 12,000. 13,000. And we could do the same, honestly, for like draconium ore and stuff like that. You know, that's a possibility as well. I actually have a little bit of draconium ore, probably from that silk quarry. Now, one last thing that I want to do. I know this episode's running a bit long, all that good stuff. We're going to use these ender chests that we made earlier that we didn't end up actually using. I don't know why I was thinking I needed those over there. And we're just going to set up just really, really quickly. Are we using... I don't know, because my system's acting so weird here lately. We're going to make a channel that's white, orange, white. And let me get an export bus and one smart cable. Just pink is fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to put an export bus here. And let me grab just a little bit of dimensional shard ore. 38,000 already. That is absolutely ridiculous. So we'll say you can export dimensional shard ore. And there we go. And there we go. Okay, it's starting. And let me get some acceleration cards. 4 of those will be good. Throw them in there. And okay, there we go. You can see you can tell my AE system's kind of like chugging a little bit here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pop over here now, and for our machine infuser, we're just gonna pop back here. Let me get like an item conduit, and we'll set our ender chest right. Actually, we're going to put it into the floor, I think. So we'll set that right there, and I'll do a facade here in just a bit. And what we'll do is we'll say that you can insert, you can extract always active. That's going to keep this filled up with dimensional shard ore. Okay, so anytime now that I want to infuse a machine, what I can do is I can just grab, say, for example, like this dimension builder, right? We'll go ahead and pull that out for just a minute. That dimension's going to be fine. It doesn't drain that much power. We can throw in this machine here. And you can see that it's going to keep that filled, and I can infuse my machines and really never have to worry about dimensional shard ore ever again. Honestly, we already have more dimensional shard ore within like a couple minutes than we could ever possibly use. So realistically, I may end up changing this over, this dimension. I may actually shut this off because it's probably just killing our power. Right now, actually, let me leave it on for just a second. I'm going to run over, and I'm actually going to pull up our quarry real quick. Alright, you can see I'm actually starting to get some negative effects from this dimension because it's starting to run out of power. And I'm going to warp back. I may end up using the dimension, but for right now I want to say on to activate. Basically so it'll stop feeding this thing power. Because it's going to just murder my power running that. But I may end up, I don't know, we might end up sustaining it. But, I mean, realistically, do we need it? I mean, we have almost 100,000 dimensional shard ore. So we might end up changing over to, say, like draconium or something like that, because then we could have a ton of draconium. So I don't know. We might. We'll see. But anyways, I know that it is wrapping up point. I know this episode's running a bit long. I do apologize. Next episode, we're gonna pick up with Draconic Evolution and start really moving through that mod. As we, move towards wrapping up this series. I'm going to try to get my armor squared away and work a bit finishing up the cabling down here. And hopefully get my base fixed because it's been acting up here lately. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And if you have any questions, as always, do let me know, and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. And, yeah, until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time.